In order, Griggs County Commission, stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. John.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Mark is here by phone. Stephanie.
Here.
Dale is here. You want a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll motion to approve it.
Motion by Stephanie to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Let's take a look at the February 4th meeting minutes.
Every chance to look. Is that good? You done? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Stephanie, approve the minutes and
As
dispense with
presented.
reading.
Yes, I was looking for the exact words you guys like to use. And dispense with the reading.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Scott. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Take a look at the bills.
In the bills, there is some highlighted ones. Those are the ones that have a due date before your next meeting. I was asked to signify those. And then there is one bill in here for the North Dakota Weed Control Association for $275 for dues. We have not paid that in the past. I don't know.
Who uses it? Who submitted the bill?
Well, it's for the weed officer, and I'm the weed officer, but we just get it in the mail, so it's just,
All these.
Then don't do it.
No.
yeah,
If you've never used it, don't do it.
yeah.
It's all these quasi-government entities that feed off government entities.
Do you have to present the bill that you know you don't want?
It depends on if you got, like, if we get it and you guys want to become a member of it.
But we don't use it, you
Never
do.
use it.
Right.
We will never use those associations.
Right.
You guys would.
You're the weed board too.
So, oh, well, I won't use it. So yeah, don't get it.
So we'll take that one out.
Okay.
I'm just saying, don't present bills that,
Well, we have to have them presented to us.
if it's ones that we wouldn't use, or they would never use.
It depends on, we don't
Oh,
know
okay.
that at the time.
Okay,
It's not her individual.
association,
We-
okay.
It would be a good idea though to have Samantha screen those for us and let us know which ones we've paid prior and which ones we haven't, because sometimes they get snuck in there Not so much anymore, but they used to.
Right, thank you, that was my, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, that was my, what I was looking for.
Things that are out of the ordinary.
Right,
or-
because if we don't ever use it,
Yeah.
Well, there's a constant demand by outside entities trying to solicit money from counties, cities, and most of them don't do the county or the city or the public entity any good at all. So we made, quite a while ago, we started going through and getting rid of a lot of that. And there's still some more I'd like to get rid of, but I ran out of cooperation.
On page number 9 too, we did get some information from the NACO.
I saw that.
Those are the dues that we didn't pay, but the state pays on our behalf. This is just more information on that. So just wanted to let
It's
you know.
that been resubmitted, that bill here for $450?
Yes.
Okay.
is,
Guys,
like John Deere Financial, that's just a supply, is that a net 30, could that be paid on the next meeting? My goal here is I kind of like to see what bills absolutely have to be presented. I'd like to eliminate the second meeting of the month and have it all done on one, if it's possible. So I'm kind of looking at, I mean, could we eliminate and go to one meeting a month, and what bills need to be discussed that can't wait, you know?
I think it was the John Deere Financial that Maddie was saying didn't have a due date on it, but it just looked, like it should get paid as soon as we can.
Things like that, you can change the due date.
Yeah, some of it can be like
Yeah.
net 30s,
Yeah.
you know?
And a lot of these, if we get, late fees or whatever, we can usually call them and say, our commission doesn't meet until this date, and they'll waive those late fees for us. Just,
Did I miss something? Was there something that we were talking about going to once a month?
no.
Oh, oh.
No, but I would
Yeah.
like to
Step
have
would
it as a
like to.
discussion.
Oh,
But in the meantime, I was kind of interested as to what bills, were.
well, it's not only the bills, it's just any business needs a little bit of supervision, and once a month we decided it really wasn't enough sometimes, and too much sometimes, but it's such a small investment in our time that it seems to me to be, we just can't let it run on its own. There needs to be a little bit of supervision.
Because we could always add a second meeting if need be,
Special meetings.
a special meeting,
The-
a second one.
The problem is, at least with my view, was they got to be long when we did them once a month. Like,
4 hours, 5 hours, is that right?
yeah,
Sometimes.
they were obscenely long.
And then the other thing, if we didn't have information and it had to be tabled, then instead of being tabled for 2 weeks, it was tabled then for another month. So conceivably, you'd get 2 months down the road before you got anything done.
But you could have a second meeting this month. I'm just saying this, if you could,
Yeah.
at times, not have a second meeting of the month,
Well, I mean,
not have it.
it doesn't, it's worked pretty well, and you always have the opportunity to attend by Zoom or whatever, if you can't make it. And that's why we just need a majority here in attendance, and, I
Whether
don't
I'm
think,
here
I don't
or
think
on
it's,
Zoom,
I think
I'm
it's worked
still
pretty
not
well.
working at my job, but.
Yeah. Multitask.
Right.
I mean, Sam will get the Zoom thing figured out, and.
Well,
When I'm at work at 2:00, even if I do it from work, I'm still doing commissioner stuff, not administrator stuff for Netta Parkview. So it's kind of hard for me. So I was hoping that we could do, one long day is better for me than me having to leave 2 short days. I'm willing to come, 2:30 to whatever, but
Let's,
that's my goal. We'll work on that one.
would you like me to continue to highlight the ones that with the due dates like this?
Yeah,
Yep.
why not? Keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Because we also gave you we sent an addendum So you could pay these bills.
Correct. A lot of the times I
Or
don't.
not?
No, just the monthly postage and things like that.
Regular operating.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what
Yep.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but
There's
none of
No,
these.
I know I'm saying, but like the ones that were, the ones that we discussed. Yeah, I know what you're saying, John.
There's a resolution
Yes.
that I'm able to pay like
Pretty
fuel and
pretty limited, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But I usually don't use that because we have the 2 meetings a month that
Usually
usually
cover it.
covers those, so then I don't really have to dip into that.
Okay.
But if we did go to 1 meeting a month, I could still do bills twice a month, paying those, ones that are within the resolution that I'm able to, and then the other ones could just come to the next meeting for you guys.
Okay.
So the National Association of Counties, is somebody gonna,
I'd make a motion to remove that from the bills to be paid.
And the Weed
And
Association.
the weed, yeah.
Okay.
And install a filter.
I've been trying to keep track of them all.
okay, John's made a motion to pay the bills as presented with the exception of the National Association of Counties for $450 and the North Dakota Weed Control Association for $275. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Yeah.
Seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Aye.
Dale votes aye. Motion carries. Guess we have, Kelly's got a grant. that's
Do you
been
want to
approved.
move on to Wes? I was supposed to just let Kelly know when
Okay.
her time was up, and I
Okay,
dropped the
Wes.
ball on that.
So Sam was asking me about the CARES money, what we should spend that money on, or what I would like to see that money go towards. And I don't know how much. Wayne is kind of the one that is the one that does all the training on the new Siren Act, which is we have to switch our radios over to 800 megahertz by 2024. So it's gonna be pretty.
Right.
Yeah. For I think it's $800 or $8,000 per mobile unit, and I need there'd be 4 of them, one for each car, and then the EOC. So that alone, 24,000, and then we'd have to change out our handheld radios as well. And so I was thinking that. Right now we have 154,000 and some change in the CARES Act funding. That I would like some of that money allocated towards that radio project. It would be a cost savings for the community, as the tax money that we'd have to spend to do that would be offset by buying these radios that way.
Should we sit on it until the deadline and see if there's any other money coming forward for that? I've got some experience with those radios. We use them in the fire business, in the federal fighting business. And they did the same thing there. 7 years ago, we were mandated to have the radios, and a year before we had to have them. Congress appropriated some money to do that. And we've 7 years, I guess, we've had to have those radios, and so far they haven't switched over and used any of those frequencies. We still have to keep the old radio in the
Really?
airplanes. And because not everybody is
Oh,
on board.
yes.
Right. I'm all right with waiting.
Yeah, we'll
that's
just put
that's
them on.
fine. And plus, especially after legislative session,
Yep.
there could be money coming in from the state for the grants and everything.
Yep.
I was just wanting to make sure that we set that money aside so we have access to it when we need to buy the radios.
In last session, that the legislators set $3,000 a radio aside. They've already done. All emergency managers did a survey of all the radio needs. So it was ambulance, fire, everything. As of right now, I think it's like $10 million that's set aside by the legislature. I don't know what the session is gonna hold, but there is money set aside already by the state, but I don't know what the feds are gonna do.
We should start checking into that. I mean, my personal opinion on these monies that we're getting here, they should be used to offset money that we're gonna spend anyway. It shouldn't
Right.
be, we shouldn't be buying something in addition to what we were gonna spend. It should be to offset money that we were gonna
Right.
spend, and that's what you're trying to do here. And
Yeah.
that's
The
I
project
like
is,
that approach.
The project slated for 2024 is when state radio is switching over, so that's when we'd have to be switched over.
Yeah.
And that's for like the school districts too, correct?
The
School district,
Right?
yeah. Well,
I'm pretty sure.
it's everybody for state that are using state radio.
Yep.
The grant isn't available for school districts. They're working on the language in the legislature this year to change it, so that grant's gonna be available. But yeah, it's everybody that uses radio the radio is for the state radio. So it's like the hospital has some radios for the ambulance, and I mean everybody that's on that.
But
So
one of two things will happen. As it gets closer to the deadline, they'll either appropriate money or they'll kick the deadline down the
Right.
road.
Right. And then
So
all
you
the
don't wanna
COVID.
jump out ahead and
And all these-
spend money.
Now the excuse is always COVID. Everything's COVID. So there's
Yeah.
COVID.
So, what's the idea of this whole system all on one frequency type deal? What's the idea of this?
It's digital, so they
It
can be
goes,
tighter.
it's 800 megahertz.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to go through buildings better, and then like our handheld radios, we actually have a repeater in the water tower. So if we leave Cooperstown, we go to the outskirts, we can hear on our portable, our
But you
handhelds,
can't.
but we
Can't go back.
it's hit and miss getting them. We're in the mobile, in the cars, we're good, but out west, they're having problems. So it will help them with,
You're talking way out west. You're talking
Way out
McKinney
west.
County and way
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And that, it helps in that, but the biggest thing is it gives you thousands more frequencies. Because the spacing now is a lot tighter in the digital mode than it is in the analog mode.
What does other departments use their COVID funds for? Do you know? Have you?
Radio's a big one. I'm pretty good friends with the McKenzie County Sheriff. They just spent some $1 million in lights for their impound lots. Another use that I would like to use it and use it right away, and again, it's something that we need, and it would be something that would come out of my budget anyways. But since Shane has come aboard, he's been using a vest that was my second vest, my first vest that was purchased. So the vest is about 9 years old, and they're only good for about 5 is their expiration date. So I would like to get permission to order a vest for him. It would be about, I think they run about $1,200, but there are grants that are paid back. So it also might be cheaper if I can still get the grant. But that one I would like to order right away, just to get him a vest that I could feel comfortable that he's wearing.
Can we use COVID funds for that? I didn't look at. Can we use the COVID funds for that? I haven't read you guys' description as to what you can use yours for. You know, because
It's supposed to be used to I believe it's supposed to be used to offset the taxes for.
No, used to offset additional expenses involved with.
due to COVID.
So it's kind of like lying on your income tax. There's no penalty until you get caught.
So you can, I mean, we did upgrades in our facility with COVID funds, you know, things to make infection control. I mean, right now, all of our supplies, all of our PPEs, all paid for with COVID funds. You know, it's
So
PPE
conceivably,
in a way.
the officer is put into positions already wasn't put in before, and he's in need of additional equipment. So I think that would qualify.
And
I
it's
think we
something
could word
that is needed, it's not
Yeah.
something that we're adding.
No.
Right. So I think we can justify something like that. It's not a big dollar fee.
No.
But having all that money sitting there is pretty. It takes a lot of pressure off things happening in the future now.
Right.
And it takes the pressure off, it's supposed to, off the taxpayer, because now some of those things that might jump up that we can't foresee, we're able to cover without going back to the taxpayer and costing them money. So as long as that money is used prudently by everybody involved, I think we try to make use of it throughout the county in whatever we can use it where it would offset dollars of taxpayers would have to pay. So do you need a motion for the vest?
I think you should.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
A motion by Scott to purchase new protective vests for the sheriff's department. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Stephanie. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Aye.
Dale votes aye. Motion carries.
Hey, just something on that note with that equipment, and I didn't talk to Wes about this before, but I think that if there's any safety equipment that the sheriff's department has that has an expiration date on it as far as its effectiveness, I think that should be updated as it's needed. 'Cause
Yes.
we have a duty to keep them as safe as we possibly can.
And upgrades, 2021, anything social distance, anything, to infection control,
We get
anything
a lot
like
of
that.
PPE free from the state through the COVID stuff.
Through the
Like the
cash.
masks, N95 and
Yeah.
regular masks. We got coveralls.
Okay.
Yeah, we're able, through US or the emergency manager, we're able to secure a lot of that equipment free through the state.
We needed some IT upgrades, like software upgrades on our stuff. Because we had to change the way we do some things because of COVID.
I'm
There's
sure
so
this
many
money
things.
will be here for a while, but and
There's an expiration date as to when we have to use it though.
Is there expiration date on this at all? Do we know?
I don't think this money that the county's got, I thought it's really just to offset the salaries and the extra expenses that the counties have gone through because of COVID. So I don't think this stuff, it's not like the PPP money where it has to be spent in 12 weeks. I think it's,
No, this money
Oh,
is
that's a
actually on
loan.
hand.
That's a different.
This is on
program.
hand, yep. And when
Right.
I went back to the emails, I didn't find like a
CARES Act.
No,
No
I
expiration date.
think
on
it's
it.
just
Expiration
a-
date.
it's-
We just need to upload everything now to, HSS wants us to upload everything's, watch out for audits. Our auditors, just make sure you keep receipts
Yep.
for everything.
Yeah.
Because we're
I
gonna
mean,
have to.
we have this money. This money is actually in their treasury.
Yep, so, yep.
So it isn't something that we have to apply for. It's here.
It's here. We just need to keep
Yeah.
documentation
So we
for
just-
fear of audit.
Put it in a nice.
But I always keep my
put it in a nice
documentations for
safe
10
fund
years.
where
So
you have to can't buy furniture with it, we'll be okay.
Hey, I bought furniture with my COVID funds. What are you talking about?
um,
Infection control.
it was also brought up asking to update our first aid kits within the departments. Our Band-Aids aren't even sticking anymore because they are so old. Wondering if we could use the COVID funds for that as well, or if that should come out of the general courthouse or whatever. I
funds
didn't
if you
know if
can.
you wanted to use the COVID funds for that too, but
Maybe we should just have safety training so we don't need Band-Aids.
need to get on that.
We got organized from the ambulance crew.
Do you?
Yeah. We just bring our first aid kits in there and Nancy fills it up.
Oh, maybe you should ask her.
Oh,
Talk to Nancy.
there you go.
But as far as anything else in the sheriff's office, I guess our big thing for personal protection is our vests, and within the next few years, we're gonna Amber and I got our vests at the same time, so I'd like to stagger that out, but that'll be a couple of years or so. That money should,
Yeah, I mean, right now, we don't have a use for it.
Right.
If it lasts, make it last as long as possible. The money. Okay.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Wes.
that's all I got. Thank you.
I kind of understood the monies that we got already didn't have a lot of constraints on them.
It did not.
Yeah.
I think it was just
But the stuff that they're working with now,
Does?
I don't know that we're eligible for it because you have to spend it on COVID-related
That's right.
expenses or loss of revenue, and we really haven't had any expenses in
No.
And we tried to apply for those, like getting the additional laptops and the sneeze guards and the hand sanitizer. We tried to submit that for reimbursement, and it didn't come back that we got anything for that, so.
You know, and some of this stuff, well, there's money out there, so we should spend it, but if you get free money that's 50% off an item that you didn't need, you spend 100% too much.
Yeah.
So we don't need to go find somewhere to spend money just because there's money to be spent unless we need that item.
Right. Yeah.
Because it always comes at a cost. And a lot of times it's matching money, a lot of times it's rules and regulations that cost money later on down the road.
Okay.
Waiting for Kelly?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I told her to come, so.
Okay. Can we skip ahead to other things before Kelly then?
City petition for annexation is on there.
Yeah, what's that?
Old courthouse, new courthouse.
Give you the signal.
Huh?
Give you the signal.
Oh,
We can wait for Kelly to walk down here.
I think he's at home.
No, she's here.
Is she now?
She's doing a presentation, so she didn't want to come any earlier than she
Oh.
had to, and then she wants to leave right, like, yeah. Basically, with Kelly's stuff, we got approved. And we already budgeted for it. We discussed it within the budgeting process, so, she didn't think that we had to, like, say that we will accept it or anything like that. We only had to do that when it was that large amount. So it's kind of,
It was just for your information.
yeah, so then
So it doesn't
it's,
require any action.
I don't think so. It's just letting you know that she did get approved and she's gonna move forward. And I think since we budgeted for it, that was when you guys authorized her to move forward with the,
We did, so
Yep.
I don't think we need to talk.
okay.
In the city petition for annexation.
No, it's already been canceled.
She explained it already. Seriously.
You go home.
You're good.
You can stay, you can stay.
Do you really need me?
I just explained,
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you were coming or not, or if you were
Okay,
busy.
yeah. So, we're good?
We're good.
We're good.
No.
Okay, thanks.
Finish your PowerPoint.
Where is that? The annexation, the city's, is that,
Hospital, right?
yeah, is there any action we need to take on this, Jamie, or is it just an FYI
Yeah,
for us?
Under the code, it just looks like it's an FYI. Let's see here. Under 4551.211, it just requires notice if the county owned land within the annexation area, the county would have the right to protest the annexation. But other than that, it appears that it's just a notice requirement of the people that are petitioning the annex.
This is the city of Cooperstown, is that correct?
I think it's actually the hospital.
It's the hospital.
It's
It's
gotta be
Hospital
the-
itself owns it, petitioning to come to the city of Cooperstown, so then the city of Cooperstown can put in the water and sewer at no charge to the hospital. So conceivably, this is going to be $1 million burden on the taxpayers of Cooperstown, pending approval by the city council. And of course, as we all know, the city of Cooperstown or the city, county or the federal government doesn't have any of its own money, so that money is gonna come from the taxpayers of Cooperstown. Whether it comes in the form of a raise in their water bills, a levy on their property, or a fee, it's still going to come out of the pockets of the taxpayers that you represent. And $1 million over 25 years at 2%, it's $51,000 a year that's gonna have to come out to cover this. On the good side of it, by them annexing it, it has relieved the the remaining taxpayers of Griggs County of that burden, but it's put the burden onto the potential burden onto the residents of Cooperstown. But Jamie's right, it's just a notice of a hearing.
That's it.
As far as this board goes,
Yeah.
the authority to do this is gonna lie with the county, with the city of Cooperstown and council members.
So basically, this is like almost like a courtesy call, kind of.
That's a requirement by statute. I don't know why it's required by statute of the county, other than if the county were to own property outside the city limits that they're gonna annex in.
Because of course it is it's, if the property stayed where it was at, it would be a tax cash cow to the township where the property was sitting.
Oh, sure. Yeah, never thought about that.
But that's not the reason for annexing it. For annexing it so that the city can then,
Bring the water and sewer and stuff like that.
unfortunately, I'm afraid of that, Jim. So really what the people that this is affect are the county commissioners that have voters in Cooperstown.
Old courthouse, new courthouse.
I reached out to Angela Smith wanting a update, wanting a draft of what she sent. Did not receive any response back at this moment, so hopefully I'll have something for you for the next meeting. I also sent an email out to all the department heads asking for a list of property that they would like to get rid of in their office, and I'll hopefully have that for your next meeting as well. I don't think there's anything else.
Did we ever send the money that they charged us for the study?
Yes. Yeah, we paid that up front.
Wonderful.
Okay. I wonder if she is as forgiving as with her students with late assignments as she did with us.
I don't know.
She doesn't answer her phone when you call her.
I have never called her.
Oh, but you have her number?
I just have her email.
You don't have her phone number?
No, I try to get everything on I try to get everything on written record
You
so that
did
I
business with no phone number? Perhaps just try calling. Sorry.
Mark actually went to them one day. He was in Fargo, so he just stopped in and talked to them.
How'd it go, Mark, there?
Perhaps let's
Yeah.
try verbal
Well,
communication.
they didn't know we still had a problem. So maybe I'll stop in there again on the way back.
Yeah, no, I don't have her phone number.
Remember? Okay. Thanks, Mark.
You bet.
Is there any future business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mark to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Stephanie. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned on February 18th at 3:10 p.m. Next meeting will be Thursday, March 4th at 2:30 in this room.
Can you say the time, please?
He did.
Oh, okay, good.